Space exploration has been a fascinating subject, and the space race has been an integral part of that. For decades, the United States and Russia have led the way, but now China has entered the game. Rather than competing with NASA, China is building its own version of SpaceX. Recently, China's space program unveiled a new spacecraft that caught the attention of the world. However, there's an issue with this design. It appears suspiciously similar to SpaceX's Dragon capsule. So what does Elon Musk think of this infringement? And what does it mean for the future of space travel? Join us as we explore deeper on this topic and uncover the answers. Let's find out. The Chinese space program began in the 1950s, shortly after the People's Republic of China was established. China was a poor country struggling to feed its people at the time, but it was determined to catch up with the Soviet Union and the United States space programs. Despite numerous setbacks like political upheaval, natural disasters, and technical difficulties, China gradually expanded its space capability. China launched its first satellite, the Dongfang Hong-1, in 1970, becoming the fifth country to do so, following the Soviet Union, the United States, France, and Japan. China launched its first astronaut, Yang Liwei, into space aboard the Shenzhou spacecraft in 1992, making it the third country after the Soviet Union and the United States to do so. China has launched several crewed missions since then, most recently the Shenzhou 13, which launched in October of 2022. The Chinese space program has also contributed significantly to research and international cooperation. China, for example, has launched a number of space science missions, including the Chang'e lunar missions and the Tianwen Mars mission, which have gathered valuable data about the Moon, Mars, and other celestial bodies. However, the Chinese space program has been the subject of criticism and controversy, particularly for its military ties, lack of transparency, and intellectual property practices. China has been accused of stealing technology and designs from other countries, including the United States, Russia, and Europe in recent years. The Chinese government has denied these allegations, claiming that it respects intellectual property rights, but some experts are skeptical. One of the latest examples of this controversy is the cloning of the SpaceX Dragon capsule by the Chinese space program. Cast Space, a commercial spin-off of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, has been developing a single-stage reusable rocket that would take up to 7 passengers on a 10-minute ride above the Kármán line, which is widely regarded as the boundary between Earth's atmosphere and outer space. It's called the ZK-6 Crew Capsule, unveiled in January of 2023, but the problem is, it bears a striking resemblance to the Dragon capsule, which has become an icon of the commercial space industry. The ZK-6 is 15 meters tall and 3.35 meters wide, with 4 windows. It is powered by 5 15-ton XY-1 engines and can be reused more than 30 times. The ZK-6 has the same shape, size, and features as the Dragon, including 4 windows, the grid fins, and 3 parachutes. The only significant difference is that instead of landing legs, the rocket would be caught by an arm attached to the launch tower, following the concept unveiled by SpaceX for its massive Starship Super Heavy rocket. The crew capsule will descend to Earth with the aid of 3 parachutes. Recently, China completed a test flight of this clone of the Dragon. The mission is one of the first steps in China's preparation for future lunar missions. The spacecraft was launched atop China's most powerful rocket, the Long March 5 Bravo. During the test, the spacecraft reached an altitude of about 5,000 miles above Earth. The trial, which was similar to the initial test flight of Orion that NASA completed in late 2014, was hailed as a success. Many people in the global space community are surprised and concerned about this cloning. Some claim that China stole SpaceX's intellectual property, violated international norms, and undermined fair competition. Others have claimed that the ZK-6 is not a true clone of the Dragon because it differs in some technical aspects, such as the engines and propulsion system. They also stated that cloning is common in the space industry because many spacecraft have similar designs and technologies. Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, claims that the company avoids using patents to build rockets because they benefit the weak and stifle innovation. According to him, SpaceX has almost no patents. It would be absurd for the company to publish its patents because the Chinese would simply use them as a recipe book. In a Tesla conference call 8 years ago, Musk said that patents were a sign that a company was failing to innovate fast enough. Musk also stated that patents are typically used as a stumbling block to prevent other companies from progressing. They simply prevent others from following you. The majority of patents are bogus. Aside from China's interest in developing its own Dragon, a Beijing-based startup called Epoch has entered the race to develop its own Starship. The company has received an undisclosed amount of angel funding and intends to build and launch rockets powered by engines that burn a mixture of methane and liquid oxygen propellants, similar to Starship's Raptors. The first goal of Epoch is to build a 210-foot tall rocket capable of launching 14,330 pounds into a 684-mile-high sun-synchronous orbit. Despite being much smaller and less powerful than SpaceX's Starship, this is very ambitious and a difficult venture for the Chinese startup. Epoch has already built thin-walled stainless steel propellant tanks for the rocket and plans to test them alongside rocket engines to achieve this goal. The company is buying methane engines from another Chinese startup, engine maker Reusable Rockets, so it does not have to develop its own engines. Epoch intends to contribute to China's national space infrastructure and launch capacity demand by targeting markets such as point-to-point transportation, space tourism, space station construction, and deep space exploration. This is not the first time China has developed a rocket that resembles one manufactured by SpaceX. Wang Zhijun, president of China's Academy of Launch Vehicle Technology, gave a presentation a few months ago that looked suspiciously similar to a two-stage methane liquid launch system. To be fair, there are some differences. CULT's launch system is designed to carry about 20 tons to low Earth orbit, whereas SpaceX's massive spacecraft is designed to carry 100 tons. There appear to be differences in the engine's thrust generation as well. They are also developing their starships in an iterative fashion, similar to the SN serial number designations. The recent combined test system used XZH-1D1, while XZH-1D2 will be used for the first suborbital sea splashdown recovery test in 2023. Chinese space officials see the benefit of developing reusable rockets and spacecrafts. The effort to develop reusable spacecraft coincides with Chinese officials' plans to land astronauts on the moon. They have not yet announced a precise timetable, but it has been previously hinted that it would not happen until later than 2030. Developing reusable rocket technology in China has become even more important following considerable international criticism of its Long March 5 Bravo rocket. China allowed massive core boosters from these rockets to fall out of control to Earth while sending each of the 3 modules of the Tiangong space station into orbit. Despite criticisms of China's previous space missions, the country is determined to become a major player in the global space race. Chinese officials say they've learned valuable lessons from their American counterparts, and they're glad they didn't follow NASA's early decision in the 1970s to build a large but expensive spaceplane like the Space Shuttle. The Space Shuttle is extremely complicated, whereas the capsules used by China and SpaceX are simpler to ensure reliability and safety, as well as being more cost-effective. While it's unclear whether China will be able to replicate SpaceX's success, it's clear that they are determined to become a major player in the global space race. The future of Chinese space exploration is certainly exciting to watch, and we eagerly await what they will achieve in the coming years. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and watch these ones as well.